Y'all, this is the Variety Kid, and tomorrow on April 29 at 12 p.m. New York time, or 11 a.m. our time, VoiceoverPete will fly a banner over New York City to promote PewDiePie. As you can see here in this screenshot, the sub gap has reached below negative 1.2 million, so it is worth noting that we have dug ourselves into a big hole. But anyways, I'm going to talk about whether or not I think it'll be successful. Okay, so first of all, I think that that PewDiePie will be able to cut down on T-Series lead due to the promotion, and I also think that PewDiePie will be able to get the sub gap to above negative 1 million, which means that T-Series will be able to have less than a 1 million subscriber lead. However, I'm not exactly sure if the sub gap will, however, I'm not exactly sure if PewDiePie will be able to take over. If it does help PewDiePie regain the lead, I think that it will take a minimum of 1 week. At the end of yesterday, or yesterday in Social Blade time, which is an hour ahead of us, was negative 1,144,000 rounded to the nearest thousandth, meaning that the sub gap will most likely decrease by, I'd say, about 90,000, because that's what usually happens. So so that means that it will most likely decrease to 1.23 million, and then and then it will also decrease at least for the first part of April 29. The gap before it begins to decrease will most likely be 1.3 million. Worth noting is the most successful. I mentioned this before in my Every Way PewDiePie Was Saved video. But the most successful way was when Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, and Logan Paul helped PewDiePie in early December 2018, where it helped for a total of 16 days. Technically 19 days, but on 2 of those days, December 4 and 5, PewDiePie gained less subs than T-Series. This could be more successful than the second most effective way, which was when Mr. Beast bought a whole bunch of billboards, because Mr. Beast lives in a city with about 90 or 95,000, while New York has about 8 million people. In fact, I also think that PewDiePie will be able to lower the sub gap for T-Series by at least 500,000, meaning that if it gets down to 1.3 million, which is what I think, the sub gap will be able to get down to as low as 800,000. So as you can see here, the PewDiePie's subscribers have generally been going down since April 9, which was the first, which was one day after the last day that PewDiePie gained at least 100,000. Yeah, I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that's something that I wanted to say that you should keep in mind here. And then, and then as you can see here in the later days, which weren't included in the first screenshot, PewDiePie began gaining even less. And actually, I was going to say, on April 23rd and April 24th, he was able to gain a little bit more due to Jake Paul's promotion, which didn't really help too much. In fact, it didn't even stop the bleeding at all, because T-Series still gained more. In fact, it was barely even able to cut down on the bleeding. But however, I do feel glad that at least PewDiePie still gained a little bit more subscribers. Since April 14, the sub gap has decreased an average of nearly 100,000 a day. So there have been so since April 14, there have been 4 days where the sub gap decreased by 100,000 or more, which actually which actually before April 14, there was only one time where the sub gap decreased by 100,000 or more, and there was only one day since April 14 where the sub gap decreased by less than 50,000. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave a like if you did, and give me some video ideas on what to do next. Bye.